Hey, fifth grade. Welcome to another virtual counseling lesson, a second step lesson. And today's going to be on accepting differences. All right, so last lesson that you watched, we talked about taking others' perspectives. And for this lesson today, you're going to learn about accepting differences. So over the next several weeks, you're going to be learning and practicing skills to improve learning, getting along with others, and managing emotions and solving problems. So today we're going to start using the walk, walk, walk video. So we're going to listen for when they say take a look and see what they're seeing. What does that phrase mean and how does it relate to perspective taking? Let's see.
Strong feelings coming from within. Hard to see another's point of view when you're in your own skin. Changing your perspective, thinking through your stuff. Empathy's not easy when the going gets rough. You know that it may be hard to think it through. Other people feeling different because they're not you. You gotta walk, 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 walk in their shoes. Take a look and see what they're seeing. Walk, 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 walk in their shoes. Try to understand what it would feel like to be them. You gotta walk, 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 walk in their shoes. Empathy is what we're saying. Recognize those feelings. You felt them too. That's empathy.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it right there because I just heard take a look and see what they're seeing, and then they said that's empathy. So I think that's how it relates to perspective taking. So we're going to review the empathy poster. So remember, empathy is feeling or understanding what someone else is feeling, looking at their face and their body for clues, what's their point of view, how do they feel, how can you help, and what's a kind thing to say. All right, so now we're going to practice our listening with a brain builder, okay? So we're going to guess the movie. You ready, guys? So I'm going to press play, and then I'm going to fast forward it to, like, the middle to the end. Okay, so let's... Oh, I think I know what this one is. Okay, let's see. Okay, what do we think it is? I think I know what it is. Yes, give me a thumbs up if you thought of Hotel Transylvania. Check this out just a little. Okay, let's see. Number 10. Guess the movie. What do we think? Ooh. Oh, I think I know what it is. I'm gonna mouth it. Yeah, if you thought it was Moana, give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's do one more. Guess the movie. Ooh. I don't know what this one is. Something, something E? I know what it is. I just said it to myself. Say it to yourself, and then you'll know what it is. I'm going to give you guys a hint. Finding Dory. All right, that was fun. Okay, so now we're going to do a little discussion now that you guys have done a brain builder. So today, all of you who have birthdays in September, October, November, and December will go out to recess on time. The rest of you will stay. This is just a scenario, by the way. The rest of you will stay inside to work on some extra math problems. Since you're younger, you'll probably need more practice. How does that make those of you staying in feel? Mad, right? Like, that's not fair. That's right. It's not fair that I've made the judgment that the younger students need more math practice. I made that judgment without really knowing or checking to find out if all younger students do or do not need extra practice. That's called prejudice. So we're going to talk about the word prejudice. The root of the word prejudice is judge. The prefix is pre, meaning before, is added to the root word judge. When people have prejudice, they judge or form an opinion about a person before even knowing him or her. It's unfair, hurtful, and disrespectful to form opinions about people without getting to know them. Today, we're going to talk more about accepting differences and finding similarities so we can avoid prejudice and respond to others in a respectful way instead. Okay, so now we're ready for the videos. Okay, y'all, as we watch this video in this next story, we're going to look for some similarities and differences between Miguel and Caden.
It was Saturday, and my dad and I were going to a game. He needed to stop by the office on the way. I told him I could hang out if he needed to work for a little while. When we got there, the office wasn't empty. Another lady had come to the office and brought her son. A weird coincidence was I knew the kid. His name is Miguel, and he's in my class. I didn't know Miguel's mom worked with my dad. Miguel's really shy. His family just moved here from Mexico at the beginning of the year. His English wasn't too good at first, but it's getting better. Still, he mostly hangs out with other kids who speak Spanish. They kind of stick together and play soccer at recess. I sat down near him, but he barely looked at me. I think he felt kind of uncomfortable. I felt kind of weird too because I'm not really used to having to make new friends. I have a pretty tight group of friends at school, and I guess I don't really think much about other kids.
Okay, you guys, so how are Caden and Miguel different? They look different. Miguel is from another country, and they have different friends. Now think about some ways that Caden and Miguel are similar. What do you guys think? Let's think about it. They're in the same class. Their parents work at the same place, and they're both boys. Why do you think Caden and Miguel are not friends? Let's think about that. They hang around different people. They like different things. They don't know. They don't know they have anything in common, and they speak different languages at home, right? So it's easy to judge or be prejudiced by what you see on the outside. You may decide you don't want to hang out with someone based on what he or she looks like. We're all different in some way. Maybe you're really tall, wear braces, or have parents who speak different languages. Differences are often what make people unique and interesting. And just because someone is different in one way doesn't mean you can't find other ways you're similar. Now let's see what Caden and Miguel find out about each other. Okay, we're going to do another video.
It got kind of uncomfortable just sitting there, not talking, so I decided to say something. I asked him what he was looking at, and he showed me his comic book. I really like comic books, and this one was really cool. Words were in Spanish, but you could tell what was going on by the pictures. Then I showed Miguel this game I had on my phone. It was kind of a math game. He thought it was pretty cool too. Turns out, he's really good at math, like me. I didn't think Miguel and I would have anything in common. It turns out that we do. My dad and his mom were talking, and we found out that we don't live too far from each other. His mom invited me to come over after school one day next week. I think that'll be fun.
All right, you guys. So think about what Caden and Miguel found out about each other. They both like math, they like comic books, and they live near each other, and they get along. Do you think Caden and Miguel can become friends? Nod your head yes or shake your head no. I think yes, because they have things in common, they live close to each other, and they seem to like each other now. Their differences are not so important anymore, and they're willing to get to know each other. Okay, guys, here's an activity that you guys can try. So there's a little handout that you can complete, but we're just going to do the practice portion of it. So it says, ask the person facing you one question from the handout. If his or her answer is the same as yours, put an X in the box. If it's different, do nothing. When the teacher signals if you're in an outside circle, move toward the right to the next person and ask if one question that does not have an X and repeat. When you get 3 X's in a row, vertically, horizontally, or diagonally, shout the same. As time allows, continue until you have X's for all the questions. Okay, so this is something that you can try. You don't actually have to do it exactly the way that it says in second step, but it would be a fun activity to see what you have in common. So you could ask, what's your favorite food? And if you both say pizza, you can put an X. How many siblings do you have? If you both have 3, you can put an X. Do you speak another language? If you both speak another language, you could put an X. And it's kind of like tic-tac-toe. You can see what you get. And if you get 3 in a row, then you know that you have the same, or you have tic-tac-toe, which is really cool. So you're just trying to find what you have in common with people. Okay, so now we're going to wrap up the lesson, and feel free to pause at that last screen if you want to do that with your classmates. So, or you could use it even as something you could ask at recess or when you have a moment, maybe at lunch. So today you explored how all people can be different yet still have many things in common. Can people have differences and still be friends? Yes. They can accept their differences and find things in common, right? How can accepting differences help you in the classroom? It can help us get along better and treat each other with respect. It makes the class a better place for friendship and learning. Think about one time today when you can reach out to another person to find out what you have in common. I think at recess, I think at lunchtime, I think those are really great times. Okay, so now we're going to finish this lesson with a TED Talk from an awesome student on respecting others' differences.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Maria. Today, I'm going to talk to you about respecting differences between people, because it makes me terribly angry and terribly sad that some people think they're less important than others just because they're different. Some people have different problems and differences. However, they deserve to be treated the same. We need to help them. We need to give them a hand. A very good way to help is just by respecting them. For example, I wouldn't laugh at them. I would laugh with them. Stand up for yourself. And if you're brave enough, stand up for others. Also, I bet we all have abilities, right? Well, that's the first thing you need to recognize. Recognize your abilities and then working on weaknesses. I understand we all might feel very scared or very shy to tell a super footballer friend you're any good at playing football. But I will tell you something. Don't keep it secret. Stop comparing. Compliment instead. Remember, we're all different. Furthermore, we also need to understand their background. How many of you have been vaccinated when you were smaller? I could guess all of you. I could also guess you felt a lot of pain. Just like I understand your background, you need to understand others' background. We need to understand their culture. For example, Indians don't eat beef. And another example, their emotions. Well, if you're nervous or shy, you might sweat or something similar, right? In addition, others might have a medical situation. Have you watched Wonder, the movie about Augie? Well, he was actually born with a problem in his face. We could also have a problem of just having one arm, or one leg, or no arms, or no legs, or only one ear. However, we need to treat others the way we would like to be treated. To conclude, as I said before, some people have different problems, abilities, and weaknesses that we need to understand as respect. But why do we need to respect others? In my opinion, we need to respect others because at the end, we all have the same value. Thank you for listening to my speech. Thank you.
See you next time.